So something that comes up every year, at least once a year, at least for a month or more, is the in Australia, that is the concept of changing the flag. You know, Australia was a land colonised by the British around what 240 odd years ago, and before that, tens of thousands, perhaps up to 60,000 years beforehand, it was an indigenous land. So the fact that our flag has the Union Jack still is, a point of great consternation for the indigenous peoples of the land. And so something that comes up every year, why don't we change the flag? So why don't we? Trying to get away from the British Union Jack and its iconography, I'm just having a look at a couple of this year's submissions. There are hundreds and hundreds of submissions every year. A lot of them very strong, a lot of them not so strong, and I'm just showing you a selection of these, basically in order from sort of most to least conventional. Okay, so the first one, this is currently what the Australian flag actually looks like. This is what we've got. The star, the 7-pointed star representing the 6 states and 1 star for the territories, the Southern Cross, and the Union Jack. This is what we want to get away from, particularly the Union Jack. Okay, so just look. First of all, look. This is just one that I made myself. I'm not wedded to the idea. I don't even know if I particularly like it. But the reason I made it is just so when I discuss flag criticism with some of the other people in the group, they, the first defense always is, oh, well, what's your contribution? What have you done? Yeah, I don't see you submitting any flags. So it's like, okay, look, here's one that I've done. And basic symbolism is the colours I've taken from the Olympic flag, the Olympic flag that represents all countries, plain background and the coloured rings to represent the multiculturalism in Australia. So that's the basic concept of my flag. Okay, so moving on. Now this next flag, it's not horrible. Okay, it's not straight up horrible. Some of them are bad. The fact that the green they're using is like an aqua, like a turquoise. This color comes from the Torres Strait Island flag. So I guess they want to represent the Torres Strait Islanders in there. Classically, so green and gold are the Australian national colours. We tend to use green and gold in sporting events. The Southern Cross, obviously, the Southern Cross is there. And they've got the red and the yellow together as some kind of a nod to the indigenous culture. So the symbolism is totally fine. I think it's a fairly plain flag, which is also fine. I don't know if I love the colours just from a graphic design perspective, but there you go. That's one of the more conventional kind of entries. Next entry. Now, this one I actually think is a really, really strong submission. The colours seem to go well together. The red is more of that ochre kind of red. The curve is just a nice graphic affectation. I don't know if it suits the flag. And of course, the symbol we've got here is a combination of 2 symbols. So we've got the wattle, which is, a plant that's indigenous to Australia, and the golden wattle flowers are in the shape of the Southern Cross. So there's some nice symbology there. It's overall got a nice aesthetic. Does it scream Australia to me? I don't know. Okay, I don't know. But this is what I consider a fairly strong original submission. Okay, now this next one, I think just overall aesthetically to look at, I think it's quite beautiful. I think it's quite a beautiful idea. I think the colours go really well together. I think the amounts of the colours are nice. You got the Federation star there, you got the Southern Cross there, and you have a golden wattle wreath on the classic blue background. That being said, I tend to subscribe to the more conventional vexillological ideas. Basically, it kind of needs to be more simple. That a flag has to be simple enough for a child to draw it. That's whether someone says it has to be like that or it doesn't have to be like that. That is one of the overriding flag design principles. So it kind of fails that test. I actually honestly do really like the look of it. Does it scream Australia to me? I don't know. Maybe. You know, I think there's something I really like about it. I don't know if it's right for the flag, but I really do like it. Looking at the next one. So here we've got colours recognising the Australian Indigenous flag. This is the Indigenous flag for those who didn't know. Sorry. So we've got colours there representing that. We've got the golden wattle concept. We have the green and gold sporting colours. Green stripe on yellow as opposed to yellow stripe on green. I mean, either way, I think the colours are okay. It's not the worst flag I've ever seen. Does it scream Australia to me? Not as much. When we kind of have green and black and red in a certain kind of balance, it kind of makes me think Africa. It just is what it is. I think this is an okay submission. We'll take a look at the next one. So, this one, I mean, I kind of don't even really know what to make of it. The curve on the bottom sort of suggests a sunrise, perhaps a sunrise over a dark earth in the morning. We've got the 7-pointed star there, which is the Federation star. In this case, on a red background. Now, there's something about this design that screams fucking post-Soviet Union to me. I mean, maybe it's the scythe type shape in that sunrise. I don't know. I don't know whether that's supposed to be a green or a grey. It's kind of drab though, isn't it? It's kind of drab. But as opposed to trying to relitigate the design, just overall, do I like it or don't I like it? I think it certainly doesn't scream Australia to me. I have to say that for a fact. It does not scream Australia. And as we go further and further down the rabbit hole, this next design. So, I mean, what have we got here? We've got clasping hands, 4 different skin pigmentations of clasping hands. So they're trying to represent some multiculturalism. Okay. That green and that red together, I don't like it. I think the colours are, not only do they clash like quite horribly, but they're kind of murky as well. They're murky and they clash. And I mean, green and gold is Australian, right? Red, black and yellow is Australian, the Indigenous Australian, but the red and that green together, this doesn't say anything about Australia to me. I'm sorry, I don't, I'm not feeling it. This design, I'm not feeling it. Okay. So we move on to possibly the most gauche of all of the submissions. As I said, further down the rabbit hole. Now, I mean, look, the stars, the shape of the stars, okay, is meant to replicate or represent the Eureka Stockade flag. which was a flag about Union independence. The Eureka Stockade was a quasi civil war in Australia. Calling it a civil war would be to overstate it, but it really was about national independence. So I mean that's what those stars represent. But this whole curved red, white, and blue. I mean, this looks very USA. I mean, it looks very USA. And even if you were going to say, oh no, it's not like USA, well, I mean, it's very British, isn't it? This is a very red, white, and blue, you know, it's like it's getting away from the specific symbols of the Union Jack, but it seems to be replacing the Union Jack with another Union Jack, as if like you stick that in the corner, right? And instead of having like the British Union Jack, we're gonna have the Union Uncle Sam in the corner. I mean, I I don't know what to say about this. I think that flag would be perfect for like an American esports team or something like that. As I said, very fucking gauche. All right? Okay. So, having a look at the next one. Okay, so what we see here is an attempt to reincorporate some different colours into the Indigenous flag. So, the Indigenous flag being black, yellow, red, where the red symbolises the earth and perhaps blood on the blood. Black representing the people, in yellow representing the sun. This is so for those who are familiar at all with Indigenous art, this particular symbology, these little U shapes, these are depicting a circle of people sitting down. And the fact that they've put a lot of different colours in there, they seem to be making a reference to the many different peoples of the land. And I can appreciate the ideas that go into this particular design. Like they're trying to show like all of these different peoples coming together. I can appreciate that idea. You know, they're using the iconic yellow sun design that's on the Indigenous flag. And they've just, they've shifted around the colour blocking a bit and they've changed the night sky. As a graphic design concept, frankly, it's pretty ugly. I think it's pretty ugly. A lot of colours that don't really go together. And in terms of the balance, the sky, the land, I mean, there's something about it I don't like, okay? I don't think, like if I saw this flag and someone asked me, what country do you think that represents? I wouldn't jump to think Australia. I wouldn't. Even though I recognise some of these Australian symbols in there, it doesn't scream Australia to me. Okay. nearly at the end of these submissions here. And once again, there are hundreds of these. Hundreds. I'm only looking at 12 today. So, I mean, what can you say? What can you say about this? Let's talk about it in the most positive way we can, first of all. Okay, so they've used the Eureka Stockade version of Crux, the Southern Cross. And, I don't know, like the curved lines, it's like they're perhaps trying to hint at some Indigenous art stylings. Even though, like, Indigenous art has a very specific look to it, it seems like they're trying to perhaps incorporate some of those ideas into this flag. And the mix of colours, we've got aqua, we have orange, We've got ochre and lime green. It's, I don't know, it's like a beach towel, right? Like a lovely warm beach towel someone spread out to lay the Eureka stockade on. And it's obviously it's never passing. I mean, this is a horrible fucking flag. Okay, I'm so sorry if this is yours. I'm so sorry. I hate it. Okay, I'm sure you've got some other designs in you. Let's see them. This one's not it, my friend. I'm sorry. Okay, and now, I mean, up until now, you can see that perhaps at least most of these people, if not all, have been able to, draw a pixel or two in Photoshop. This last design, ta-da! So this was made by someone's Uncle Trevor or something. They've gone into an AI image generator and they've typed in what they want. I mean, what can you say? This is perhaps the ugliest flag design I've ever seen. I mean, trying to be positive, okay, trying to be positive. They are adopting Australian symbols. Okay, we've got 4 distinct Australian symbols here. We've got the Southern Cross. Now, Australia doesn't own the Southern Cross. I mean, fuck, it's a long way out there. But a lot of countries, of course, the Southern Hemisphere, right? Anyone in the Southern Hemisphere is going to look up at the sky and see the Southern Cross. New Zealand, Australia, we've got that on our flags. So we feel it, like, whether or not we think of it as specifically an Australian icon, it is certainly representative of a Southern Hemisphere country and culture. Okay, so there's this one Australian or quasi-Australian symbol. We've also got, of course, the boomerang. Not in any kind of stylized way, literally like fucking stock photo, stick it on there, boomerang. Because why not? The Australian Indigenous people used boomerangs, among other things. So why not chuck a boomerang on there? I know some of you will think that I did this on my own to be hilarious. I promise. I couldn't have dreamed this up. I'm not that creative. We've got the Australian political map. Okay, we've got, as you can see there, the states are clearly marked out with different colours, with the exception of Western Australia and the Northern Territory having the same colour for some reason. And across these 2 states, we've also got this lovely fucking clip art kangaroo image, which is, of course, the kangaroo is very much an Australian symbol. Okay, it's an Australian symbol. There could be some kangaroo on some flag somewhere that makes sense for Australia. I don't think this is it. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about this flag other than thanks. I hate it. Okay, I fucking hate it. So flags are fun. All right, flags are fun. If this is especially fascinating to anyone, we can look at more submissions at a later date. At any rate, look, thanks for tuning in. Take a look at my 3-minute essays if you want to look at some analytical film content. And other than that, I'll see you next time. Thanks.